quiz, solving one-step equation. All right, but it's difficult because of the fractions. All right, so we got up to 45 with my last class, and we started with, I think, like 19. All right, did you guys, we finished 19 in class, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to start with number what? We're going to start with 20. All right, 21 has already been done for you. So I want you to listen tonight to the explanation to the odds. All right, if you're not sure. All right, perfect today, guys. All right, just please listen. All right, now, refreshing your memory, to solve one-step equation, you've got to work backwards. So they said that they subtracted 9. So to undo subtracting 9, we have to do what? We're going to add 9. So I'm going to add 9, and I'm going to add 9, and 9 is the same as 9 over 1. Everybody see that? Come on, stay with me. Now, what happens to the negative 9 and the positive 9? They cross out. All right, they cancel. Thank you. All right. So from there now, what's the common denominator? 10. So all I have to do is multiply the second equation by 10, and that gives me 90 over 10 and minus 101 over 10. Now we're really concentrating right now on, am I adding or subtracting those? You are definitely subtracting because one's positive and one's negative. Now, the next thing is the answer going to be positive or negative? It's definitely negative. Is everybody okay with that? All right. So we know my answer is negative, so V is equal to negative. All right. Now you're just subtracting 101 minus 90. Hopefully you're looking at just saying, come on, that's 11. Right? I don't want you borrowing. All right, I don't want that. I just want you to say it's obviously negative 11 over 10. Now I want you to leave it like that, negative 11 over 10. Is everybody hearing me? I want you to leave it as negative 11 over 10. All right? If you write 1 1/10, do I care? No. All right, but I said, all right, as you get more advanced, we leave things as an improper fraction. All right? Now, the next thing I've been trying to say to some of you in private, speak up when you don't know something. All right? Anybody have any questions with this? Any questions or concerns? All right. Let's take a look. 22. All right? Now, this one's kind of annoying. Right? It's kind of annoying, but I do agree with you. I'd rather make that one improper than try to figure out how many times 56 goes into 307. Does everybody agree with that? Yeah. So let's go ahead and say this right here is n plus 9/8 equals 307 over 56. Is everybody okay with that? Right? And now I'm going to do what? I'm going to subtract 9/8. I'm going to subtract 9/8. Those cross out. All right. So n is equal to something. Now, what's the common denominator?
56.
So I have to multiply the second equation by what? 7. Come on, guys. Everybody should be that quick. You should be able to tell me that. If you're having a problem, you got to work on your multiplication facts. That's what the problem is for some. You got to multiply that out. So now I'm going to multiply by 7. So you should be able to tell me that's just what? Negative 63 over 56. And this up here is 307 over 56. Now am I going to add or subtract? I'm going to subtract. Is the answer going to be positive or negative? Positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. With confidence. With confidence. The reason it's positive because 307 is a lot bigger than negative 63. Now here, watch. Again, look up, please. Look up, look up, look up. Because some of you irritate me with the way you subtract. I'm just saying everybody should look at that right off the bat and say that's 244 without any hesitation. Because you're really just going 30 minus 6 and you're going 7 minus 3. Everybody see that? Going this way from right to left doesn't make sense anymore. You should be able to do the mental math on that and say 307 minus 63. 30 minus 6, 24. 7 minus 3 is what? So my answer again is what? 244 over 56. The problem is it positive or negative again?
Positive.
Positive. And now you have to reduce it. What number definitely goes into 244 and 56? 2. All right, 8 might. All right, I don't think 8 does, though, because 8 goes into 24, but 8 doesn't go into 4. Do you see that? So let's just divide by 2 quick. If I divide by 2, you should be able to say that's 1, 2, 2 rather quickly. And 56 divided by 2 is 28. So now I have to reduce by what again? 2 again. So let's do that. 2 goes into 12. 61 over 2 goes into 28. 14. That's your answer, guys. 61 over 14. 61 over 14. Everybody doing all right? All right, these are the harder ones now, so stay with me. All right? Now, again, I'm checking these denominators. Does everybody agree that's going to be pretty easy? Because all I have to do is multiply the first fraction by what? 10. Is everybody with me? So right off the bat, your brain should look at that and just say that's 50/70ths. Everybody see that, right? Everybody happy? And now, how do I undo a plus? Subtract 50/70ths. Subtract 50/70ths. Now we have a big problem because I said to subtract. So most people think, what do I do to those numbers? Subtract them. But we add them. You add them because they're both what?
Negative.
Because they're both negative. Everybody hearing me?
Yes.
All right. So now, pretty easy mental math there too, guys. 11 and 5 makes what? 16, right? So the answer is negative 161 over 70. Everybody happy with that? I don't think that's too bad. Right? Now the question is, can I reduce it? Can I reduce it? It's kind of annoying. What?
Oh, yes, you can.
Yes, you can. By what?
By 7.
Now, again, look. It was hard to see the 7. It was hard to see the 7. Does everybody hear me? But what I did, I knew it was divisible by 7 because I can do 161 divided by 7. And so when I take 161 and divide it by 7, we're just saying 7 goes into 16 how many times?
2.
2. With how many left over?
3. Or, sorry, yeah.
So I know what you're doing. So now 7 goes into 21 what? 3 times. Does everybody see that? All right? I knew it couldn't have been even, so it couldn't be 2. And I knew it couldn't be 5. So the only other question is it 7? So I checked 7 real quick. Come on now, that's not that bad, right?
No.
All right, so I'm going to divide by 7. So my answer is negative and 10 on the bottom and 23 on the top. Negative 23/10. No, it's not. Plus, it's good practice with your fractions and understanding numbers. All right, let's see how good you are with number 26. How do I undo addition?
Subtraction.
All right, here we go. Subtract. So we're going to do minus 2/3. All right. Now my common denominator worked out to be 15. So all I have to do is multiply by what?
Times 5.
Right, so I'm going to bring it down here. Negative 14/15 minus what?
Minus 10 over 50. Negative 10 over 50.
Right, because I'm multiplying by 5. So it'd be minus 10/15. Now be careful. Are we adding or
You're
subtracting?
You're adding.
We're definitely adding because they're both negative. So that gives me
24 over 15.
positive or negative.
Or negative.
You with me? Everybody understand why it's negative?
Because you're
Yeah, you owe 2 people.
so you,
So you're going to owe a total. All right. Now, what can I reduce by?
3.
3. Is everybody good? So, Mr. Griggs, what does it reduce to?
8 over 5.
Yes. And of course, I know you know it's negative. All right. Negative 8/5. Any questions or concerns so far? Good. I'm telling you, I think this is kind of easy.
This one's
All right. 28 is about as easy as it gets, right? The reason why it's easy is pay attention. I'm subtracting 14, right? Nope. You don't have to think of it like that. Here's how I'd want you to think of it. What is it?
oh, 7.
1, negative
1 and 1 and 10 thirteenths.
Oh.
Now, the reason why we can do that, let's talk about this real quick. Because this fraction over here is 0, right? So can I go 10 thirteenths minus 0? Yes. That's 10 thirteenths. And then 15 minus 14 is what? 1. Now look at that and make sure you understand the difference. All right? Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah, I thought.
I think that one's really simple. Yes, sir.
Wait, so he subtracted the 15 and the 14.
That's correct. That's right.
It's so easy.
That's easy. Because why? Because there's nothing here, 0. Now, if it was the other way around, if it was where it was 15 minus 14 and 10 thirteenths, now do I bring down the 10 thirteenths? Hello? Do I bring down the 10 thirteenths now?
Yes.
No. You can't. Because you have to borrow.
Yeah.
You have to borrow. You can't go 0 minus 10 thirteenths. So you'd have to borrow and make it 13 out of 13. All right, so keep that in mind. Hopefully you understood what I was saying on that. Review if you're not sure. All right. Now this one isn't so bad because the common denominator is just what? 78, thank you. All right, so what am I doing to 13 to make it a 78? Multiplying by 6, very nice. So if I multiply this by 6 right off the bat, multiply that by 6, I get x minus 54 over 78 is equal to 11 over 78. Is everybody happy with that? Now to solve that, what do I do to the minus 54 78ths?
So it would be adding.
That's right. So do we actually add this time? Or do we subtract? You definitely add. Because they're both what? Additions. So x is equal to what? 65 over 78. Now, can that reduce? Yes. By what? Good job, girl. That's a hard reducing one. Because most people don't see 13. Everybody see that? Because 13 times 5 is 65,
So
and
it's
13
5.
times 6 is
So
78.
it's 5 over 6.
There you go. Good job. Divide by 13. Divide by 13. Like I said, that was really hard. 5, 6. Really hard. 5 over 6. Everybody good with that? Yes, sir. Yes, because 75 is not 78. Do you agree with me? Okay. Be careful. Yes.
Also, I mean, if we get 65 over 78, would that be wrong?
I would just always reduce. Always reduce. I wouldn't mark the whole thing wrong. I would just put on there reduce. All right. You shouldn't write 2/4 anymore. You always reduce it to what? 1/2. All right. 31 now. I think we're getting into the what now? Decimals. Now for number 32, listen. I'm going to explain why later, but right now I don't want to worry about it. I just want you to put omit. All right. Right now we only know how to solve it when the variable is positive. All right, we only know how to do it when the variable is positive. That's kind of like a 2-step, which might be tomorrow or the next day. All right. All right, let's take a look at 34. What do I do with 34? Subtract 5.3. Good. Subtract 5.3, subtract 5.3. Now again, remember you're asking yourself the same question. Am I adding them or am I subtracting them?
You're adding.
You're adding them. All right. So x equals, now, is the answer positive or negative?
It's negative.
Negative, right? So it'd be negative what?
13.4.
Yeah.
That's easy.
And again, I would want you to just do the mental math there. 8 and 5 is 13. 3 and 1 is 4. Everybody good with this? Negative 13.4. Yes.
I thought 13.4. I just wondered why does
Because if you owe your mom 8 and you owe your dad 5, you owe your parents 13. You with me? Right? Two negatives. If you were to multiply two negatives, make a positive. Right? Okay, over here. What am I doing with number 36? Sorry, guys. Omit. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Let's just, instead of omitting, I'm just going to change it. So what I want everybody to do is I want everybody to change this. Instead of minus, just make it a what? Just make it a plus. I should have just done that. All right, so whenever the variable is negative, just make it positive. All right, there are not that many of them on here.
I accidentally did that one. What would be the answer to that?
It would be,
Maybe 22.7? That's what I got.
no, actually, it's positive. 22.7.
Oh, because okay, I'll figure
All
it
right,
out.
yeah, I promise you, it's not that hard.
Okay.
It just requires an extra step.
Okay.
Okay, so here we go. Just learn it like this. So now the 9.6 is what? Positive, right? So I have to do minus 9.6, minus 9.6. So now, do I add or subtract?
You add them.
You're going to add them, right? So that's going to be
Negative. Oh.
negative.
2.7.
Yeah.
That's what I had.
You're practicing. You're practicing, please. All right? You should be looking at 13 and 9 and saying that's 22. 6 and 1 makes 7. All right? You're not going 1 plus 6 and writing a 7 down. And 9 plus 3 is 12, carry the 1. We're not doing that. All right, we're not doing that. You're supposed to know right off the bat that 13 plus 9 is 22. And 1 plus 6 is 7. All right? That's them getting out of lunch. All right, thank you. All right, so now let's talk here. Double negative, it's been a while.
Positive.
Yep, so let's go ahead and make it this. All right. Then you're going to subtract 19.4. Good. Subtract 19.4. Subtract 19.4. Yeah, decimals are much easier. Much easier. However, listen to me. On this particular problem right here, are we going to add or subtract? Subtract. So are the decimals technically set up properly?
No.
No. I really should write it as what? 19.4 minus 14.1. But keep in mind that the answer is going to be positive or negative.
Negative.
It definitely is going to be negative. Now, I'm asking you to answer yourself that question every single time before you do the problem. So you know x equals a negative. And then you just subtract. Right? Again, you shouldn't be borrowing. You shouldn't be doing anything other than looking at that, saying 19 minus 14 is what? 5.3. Now, don't forget that it is, in fact, what? Negative. 5.3. Yes, sir.
So you can switch it like that if you need to.
That's exactly correct.
It's easy.
It's much easier. Okay? Let's do the next one now. All right, this one's just kind of annoying because it's 3 decimal places, but it's not difficult. So we're going to do what to both sides? Subtract 1.189. Subtract. Notice I'm lining up my decimals. Wow. Come on now. Look carefully. X equals. This is embarrassing. Look up now. Guys, I mean it what I'm saying now. Look up on the board and make sure you can just look at that and tell me that the answer is
26.100.
26.1. And you can say 100, I don't even care. But you know the places after the 0 or after the decimal, if they're 0, don't matter. All right, I think I said that correct. So does everybody agree with me? 26.1. Yes.
How did you know to move 1.189?
Good job, girl, because we are isolating the variable. That's important. So listen,
Oh.
this right here has the variable.
Yeah, okay.
So you always eliminate the number with the variable. You're isolating the variable. You're isolating the variable. All right, so here we go. So now what do I do to both sides? add 15.9. I'm going to add 15.9. Is everybody happy with that?
Yeah.
All right, now what happens here? Cross out. You cross out. Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
All right, so now I have a problem here. Am I going to add or subtract? Is everybody good with that? Now it's just kind of annoying because I do have to what? You have to borrow if you want, or you can kind of pay attention to what my explanation is. Look, P is equal to, here's how I'm doing it, 44.5 minus 15.9. All right? Now, well, to me, all right, I kind of look at it from a different perspective is I like to go from 15.9 to 44.5, but I'm going to go ahead. We're just going to subtract normally. All right, we're going to subtract normally. I don't want to get into that right now. So I will tell you that this 44 becomes a 43, though. I'm borrowing 1. Does everybody see that?
Yeah.
And then I make this a what? 15. Is everybody good? You're right, 6. And now 43 minus 15. All right, if you want, you can borrow again, but that's just annoying. So 28. Is everybody good on that? 28.6. But you have to remember, is it positive or negative?
Negative.
It is negative. Everybody good? Because 44 is negative. All right, so negative 28.6. Good? All right, here we go.
That's not us.
No, we get out at 33.
All right. So now I want to rewrite number 44 to n minus 10.8 equals negative 35.4. So how do I get rid of minus 10.8? That's right. You add 10.8. So n equals, now is the answer positive or negative? Negative. Is everybody happy? All right. Now we have to subtract. Now, so I mean, I just don't like doing this, but we'll do it the long way. 14 and 4, right? So this becomes a 6. And then what's 34 minus 10? Is everybody okay with that? 24. Is everybody okay with that being negative 24.6? Be careful. Lots of ways to make little mistakes. Lots. Okay? So now let's look at 46. Last one for today. The double negatives make it a what? So we're going to go with R plus 8.9 equals 19.12. So now I have to do what? Subtract 8.9. Now notice again what I'm doing, lining up the decimals, and I just want it 8.90. So those cancel. So R equals. Now 2 minus 0, of course, is 2, right? If we're doing it. And then borrow. 11 minus 9 is what? And so 18 minus 8. Is everybody else? Is that right? 10.22?
Oh, yeah, I got that.
10.22?
I keep not following.
Yeah, me neither.
Wait, so how did you get, what is that, 12?
Okay, so let's do it one more time just to make sure. I'm going to rewrite it. 19.12 plus, I'm sorry, minus 8.9. Do you agree with that? I add a 0. You with me? 2 minus 0 is 2. Good?
Oh.
Wait,
And then, okay.
And now 9 becomes an 8.
so it's 10.22, okay.
All right, 10.22. All right, so that's a good job for today, guys. What I want you to do now is I want you to go back and work on the odds to 45. Everybody go do the odds to 45. Is everybody with me?
Yep.
Double check yourself. Listen to the other, if you want to double check your answers. All right, or you're not sure.
So is that our homework?
Yes, tomorrow I'm going to check up to 46. I want all 46, the first 46 to be done. The first 46. All right.
Wait, is that
No. I want you just to start with, didn't we start with 19?
Yeah, I think we left off at
Yeah, so we started with 20. So I want you to do 21, through 45.